Everyone says they want to start their own therapy clinic or their own therapy business, but not everyone does it. And the reason why most people don't do it is because they have this innate fear that they're going to lose. Like they're going to lose money, they're going to lose time, they're going to be judged on what they're doing. And it does not matter if you're an OT, PT, speech, whatever. It really doesn't matter. So my name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist. And over 10 years ago, I started my therapy clinic. And over 5 years ago, I started sharing at Hand Therapy Secrets here. Now, I had this funny story because this one therapist came into my clinic earlier this week talking to me about what they wanted to do, right? Wanting to start their own business. But he actually came under the guise that he wanted to become a patient of mine. I know. I cannot stand when, like, I'm a very straightforward person, and I cannot stand when people run around like blowing smoke up my ass. Like, I really can't stand it. So already, he was coming in because he had heard through my marketing of the clinic that I have a radio shockwave machine, right? So it's a new service I'm starting to provide. It's a way, I'm not starting, I'm growing. I'm in a phase where I'm growing my business. I'm looking at different avenues of things to do that's just gonna make my services and my clinic stand the test of time, right? But what I'm doing there is literally the same thing as of what you would be doing if you were starting. There's a risk involved, there's a risk of money, there's a risk of time. And of course, there's always the risk of failure, right? I could spend a lot of money on this machine that I've invested in and fail miserably, right? So that's where a lot of people want something, they want to start, but they have this fear of failure. So this poor dude is coming in and he is kind of like shopping around. He's kind of price shopping and seeing what other people are doing. But he's like literally coming in, entering my business and asking me questions as if he wanted to be a patient. Now, I don't discount therapists who actually need therapy. I absolutely treat a lot of other therapists in the community that need it, whether it be a hand injury or whatever. So I never discount that the therapist needs therapy, right? But he told my manager one thing in terms of like, I'm really interested in shockwave. I think I need it for this. But then when I came out and I started talking to him because I wanted to explain, like, I like to make sure that my services are appropriate for the person who needs it. Because if they don't really need it, then I don't want to be dishonest and like sell it to them, right? So he wanted to know more and wanted to make sure it was the right thing for him. So when I came out, he actually started talking to me about his business because I'm like, oh, because he came out and he was like, oh, well, I'm a PT and I'm interested in shockwave services. And I was like, okay. It's just the way he said it and the way he presented himself and what I was already told. I was like, so are you a therapist looking for therapy treatments yourself, or are you here to talk to me about radio shockwave, like the technology that I've brought into my business? Because they're two separate things. And I don't beat around the bush. Like, I'm like, let's make sure that you're not wasting my time and I'm not wasting your time. So he was like, so he wanted to talk to me about that as a business. And I was like, oh, so where's your business? Oh, well, I work over here. I've been working there for 5 years, but after a few minutes, it always comes out. And after a few minutes, he told me like he works for someone, but he wants to start his own business. Okay. So now I know you want the thing that you want. You want to start your own business, but now you're like, how do I go about it? What do I need to do? And should I invest into this technology, right? I can't tell you that. I don't know what you want to do, right? Like, we're not going into like a whole session on business planning and what you want. But what I can tell you, as somebody who I end up talking to like randomly a lot of people from a business standpoint, and I don't know if it's the kind of I don't know if it's the vibe or the energy I'm putting out, but a lot of people always end up talking to me about getting started. This is my last video on getting started, maybe. I don't know. I want to talk about more growth because that's the phase that I'm in. But majority of the time, people want what they want, but they are too afraid to go get the thing that they want. Now, this guy, I don't think he was afraid, because he's coming into people's businesses asking about, prices and technology and stuff like that. Really, at the end of the day, if you want to get started, the only thing that's holding you back is that fear of failure, is that fear of like, am I going to waste my money? So he's coming in to talk to me literally about what he wants to buy, but he doesn't want to waste his money. I'm like, well, that's the risk you take. You have to invest in, like, it's not the investment in the machine, it's not the investment in the technology, it's really what you're signaling to yourself when you get started. And when you do the thing that you say you want to do, is you're why am I having a hard time saying that word? You are signaling to yourself that, are you worth the investment? Am I worth that investment? I spent $50,000 on that investment, right? My own money. I don't have corporate money. I am the corporate. I spent $50,000 on that machine. The question now isn't, oh my God, it's going to be worth it? Am I going to make my money back? Am I? Like, don't ask yourself yes, no questions. Ask yourself, and I have to do this to myself all the time. I have to like rewire my brain. I'm like literally staring at that machine, right? I invested $50,000, right? It's not will I, it's not when, it's what do I need to do to make it worth my investment? What am I going to do? What is Hoang going to do to make it worth my investment? To get my money back, right? To get my money, to get my $50,000 back, and then some, right? Because business is all about profit. And obviously the whole point of having that was to be able to further help the people in my community in a way that's better, faster, and like not easier, but yeah, to a certain extent easier for my team, right? Like if we can provide not just really good therapy, but bring along the technology that's gonna like amplify our therapy services, like how can we do that, right? So what am I gonna do? So it's not just about getting started. What am I going to do to make it worth my time and investment? So if you say you want something, Hoang wanted to bring in another stream of revenue, another technology, another service that complements therapy, because I'm in a growth phase, right? What do I need to do now to make sure that I get back that investment? So the technology is one thing, but really it's my investment, Hoang's investment of her time, Hoang's investment of her resources, right? So my resources is the money that I have to now dig out from everything that I'm doing to be able to pay for that machine. My resources now is the time carved from my team, right? That now I have to train and teach them so that they can learn how to talk to our patients about it, who is a good candidate for this type of service, and then the therapist who will be able to provide that particular services. So these are all resources, right? Time-wise, Hoang sits in the marketing seat, and I have to market the shit out of this machine. Have I done that? Truth be told, I haven't. I can share a little bit more about that process later, but I have done some work, but I haven't done all the work that I needed to do, right? So, but I say I want something, so now I have to look back and be like, well, what else do you need to do? So I'm in that process right now. But really at the end of the day, I have to believe in myself that it's possible. So when people talk to me about, oh, I want to get started, I want to do this thing, but I'm not really sure what to do. I'm kind of, I don't know if it's worth my time. I don't know if it's worth my investment. Really, at the end of the day, that fear comes back to you. That fear is like maybe I can't do it. All right? Like, you have to be honest with yourself, because I've done that. I was like, maybe I'm not sure, if I can do it, or if, really, I do feel like the belief inside me is like, I can do it. Really, my thing is just time. My biggest asset right now is time. I don't have enough of it. And then your time has to be focused and disciplined, all that good stuff, right? But if you want to get started in something, you want to start your business, you want to grow your business, that kind of stuff, like really at the end, fundamentally, it has to come down to your belief that you are capable of doing it. And then you have to take the steps. What do I need to do now? So I have to market it. I have to sit down and write. I have to sit down and create. I have to sit down and think. I have to sit and think. Oh my God, that's so time consuming. It's incredibly time consuming. I have to sit and think about who would benefit from that machine, who would want that type of service, that level of service. And then I have to do a lot of writing. So it's funny because, when you move from therapist to business owner, you essentially, your job essentially shifts, your career kind of shifts. So I have to spend a lot more time thinking, I have to spend more time writing, and then I have to spend time in creating. Now, there's a lot of people who are scared to get on camera. I think there's a lot of OTs that are just really scared to get on camera because we all suck when we first get on. It's been over 8 years. So if my business is 2 years into my business was when I started to really get on camera. And I freaking sucked. I still don't think I'm that great, but I do it anyway. I show up, I share what I know, I share what I'm doing, and I'm always looking to improve, right? But first, you have to have the fundamental belief, and then second, you have to think about all the steps, outline it, write it down. I have to sit there and I'm doing the same exact thing that I'm sharing with you what to do. So if you want it, go get it. Nobody else can believe more than you can believe that it's possible for you. Oh my God, doing these always gives me more ideas about other stuff, which is why I keep doing them. So this is actually helping me, but I hope that it is helping you as well. So to the guy who came in pretending like he needed my therapy services, you can do it if you want to. You just have to be willing to invest in yourself, be willing to believe that it's possible for you, and then be willing to put time and money towards it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what other topics you would like to hear from me in terms of a business standpoint. But I'm tired of talking about when you're going to get started, and I want to talk to you more about what you're doing to level up. That's where I'm going. All right, hit the follow button. There's a link below if you want to come onto my business corner, and also links if you want to work with me personally. All right, take care. Bye.